Justin, who's that?
It's Carrie Lee. She's one of the best businesswomen in the world.
What does she do?
Oh, lots of things. She's an entrepreneur.
Does that mean she's French?
No, she's got lots of ideas. A bit like me.
I've always had this knack of making cash in different ways. Simple things so time-consuming as long as it pays. All I did is put my head to it, bring ideas to life. It ain't easy all the time, it takes determination and drive.
To be an entrepreneur. Our French word it is for someone who shows initiative. Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
You're wondering where it all began, how on earth did I get here? All the companies with employees began with a single idea. Looked around, put my ear to the ground, never used the words cannot. Then I made a plan because I understand what it is that people want.
He is an entrepreneur. It's a big word for sure, but it's simple at the core. Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur makes the best of things, turns wants and needs into happening. An entrepreneur dreams sky high, brings ideas to life, and can make them fly. An entrepreneur is super clever, make a buck from any endeavor. Just close your eyes and visualize, visualize.
You are an entrepreneur. A French word it is for someone who shows initiative. Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
What you need to start on your business path is a vision and self-belief. Then work out what you need to succeed, save the hassle and the grief. A business plan where you want to land and the tools to get you there. How much will it cost, profit and the loss, be original with flair.
Then you're an entrepreneur. If you're thirsty, don't delay. We will make you lemonade. Entrepreneur. Your dogs look depressed. Dog walker at your service. If your shrugs are looking down, meet the new gardener in town. No post boxes to feed. Let me make a delivery. You got that? Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
Who's that?
It's Carrie Lee. She's one of the best businesswomen in the world.
What does she do?
Oh, lots of things. She's an entrepreneur.
Does that mean she's French?
No, she's got lots of ideas. A bit like me.
I've always had this knack of making cash in different ways. Simple things so time-consuming as long as it pays. All I did is put my head to it, bring ideas to life. It ain't easy all the time, it takes determination and drive.
To be an entrepreneur. Our French word it is for someone who shows initiative. Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
You're wondering where it all began, how on earth did I get here? All the companies with employees began with a single idea. Looked around, put my ear to the ground, never used the words cannot. Then I made a plan because I understand what it is that people want.
He is an entrepreneur. It's a big word for sure, but it's simple at the core. Entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
An entrepreneur makes the best of things, turns wants and needs into happening. An entrepreneur dreams sky high, brings ideas to life, and can make them fly. An entrepreneur is super clever, make a buck from any endeavor. Just close your eyes and visualize, visualize.
You are an entrepreneur. A French word it is for someone who shows initiative. Uh, entrepreneur. He could be, she could be, we could be, you could be an entrepreneur.
Well, guys, time is of essence in a business like this, and so without much ado, I will like to recognize the few guys who are on. We have a couple of guys on, but then they had to drop. We hope that they rejoin this podcast anytime soon. So, well, on behalf of the moderators for today's panel, I want to welcome wholeheartedly every one of you to this live podcast. We believe very frankly that each one of us have a contribution to make towards the overall objective of this dialogue. And so it has been a privilege. And I first want to say thank you for taking up your time to go through the applications. It takes, for every single steps we take, it leads us closer to our journey to success. And most time, we always want to take steps that are bigger steps, but we don't know that the courage that you have to begin the journey, it is that motivation that leads you towards achieving a bigger dreams. And so little steps. Let me see, remember this one. So little steps are very important in our journey to success. And so on behalf of our organizers, I want to particularly welcome Daniel J. Kekula. I want to say that you're welcome to today's discourse. We also want to welcome Mr. Charles Howard. We say we want to welcome you to today's discourse. And to my co-host, Meaway Nuah, we want to say you're welcome. So on behalf of the team here, we want to say to our viewers, you are welcome. We are optimistic that this discussion serves the purpose and you can be able to learn from whatever will be discussed here today. So without much we do, we will have intermittently some guys coming, uh, probably around the 45 minutes break. Some guys will be joining us and they will be sharing with us some of what their ongoing youth summit. At the ongoing youth summit, they will be talking about it keeps up today. They're going to be talking about it and what are the things they are doing in the summit. And also today we're going to be looking at different aspects of entrepreneurship development. We're going to be specifically gauging the perspectives of our panelists to sort of give us their perspective as to how they see the governments of Liberia on a policy prescription to address the issue of unemployment and support innovative startups and ventures, entrepreneurial venture, as well as we also want to know whether in any way they are involved with startups initiatives and what are the challenges, what are the progress that they've made. And then we also like to know kind of an innovation that they can bring. Probably they have not started. Probably they have an innovation that they already was on their mind, and they are putting together, and they're just looking for that push that will allow them to light the world. So we're also going to be looking at this discussion from that perspective. Mel Gustin Noah, welcome again. Is there any intro you have?
Yeah, I want to say welcome to the rest of the guys who for joining us today, and we hope that our discourse today will bring a lot of new information, inspiration to the people listening to us out there. So, once again, welcome. It is an honor being in your midst. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. So, by the way, we will finally kickstart our conversation today. We will begin with introduction. As soon as the first person, somebody is dropping and coming on, as soon as the first person introduce themselves, we will ask that the second follow. So we will start with Daniel J. Kekula. We also encourage you to first share the podcast. Probably you are in a group, you are familiar with you are in the chat room and you want for them to follow as well. We encourage that you share the podcast with those that are following. We don't say share the link, we say share the podcast. That is, you can get on Facebook and share the podcast with those that are that should be following. So Daniel, we will who is Daniel? Do a brief introduction of yourself and let our guys know who exactly you are.
Let me say thank you to you for having me on this conversation today. I'm Dana J. Kepler from Bon County, Bana City. And Dana is an emerging leader, uh, activist, environmental activist, been into serial activities in Banga. And currently I'm volunteering with the leading youth to foster transformation in Africa and in Africa. So I'm just an emerging leader and also a public servant. So today I'll be very much happy to make my input on the burning issue we are facing in Liberia when it comes to entrepreneurship and development. So thank you for having me also.
Well, Daniel, you are
And
welcome and thank you so much for forming part of this conversation. We look forward to us having a very fruitful discussion, and we believe very strongly that you have you have a contribution to make towards this discussion. Mr. Howell, you are not new to our viewers, but however, you still have to introduce yourselves in relation to the topic that we're discussing today. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, and welcome again to the rest of the team. I'm excited to be back. For those of you who don't know, I'm Charles Howard. I'm the founder and, as you say, the big people say CEO of a IT company called Data Charlie (MSP). MSP means Managed Services Provider from in the United States, but I'm also operating out of Liberia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Kigali. Now we're working on the office space in Kigali. We got the one up in Nigeria, so we're going gradually, and we provide technology and consultancy support to anybody anywhere in the world from where I sit in real time, 24/7. That's what we do. I'm also very comfortable when it comes to youth development because I was in before I got to technology or IT. I was heavily involved in youth program development. I was the establisher, one of the key founder of the family planning youth department back in the days, and we made a great impact. We even developed a curriculum that was approved by legislature and put into the schools called the family life education. Maybe some of you can remember it called FLE back in the days. This is one of the people that initialized that whole program. And of course, we had a lot of youth development programs. We took our youth to camp every July, taught them about drug abuse, sexually transmitted disease, teenage pregnancy, how to live in the community, how to relate to their parents, and the whole upbringing young people about entrepreneurship, how to look for the future, look towards the future, how to discipline and control themselves, the educational goals, and all those things. I was able to help bring young people together and did that. So I have a very strong background in youth program development. I still do it today, even in the States, because from my community, every other week, I have the young people here, black, white, Hispanic, wherever they come, and we sit down and we just talk. Like this evening, I'm taking it out to one of our friend place. He has a huge pool. We're just going to sit down and just talk, and they find a way to ask questions. and we share our experiences with them. So I'm excited to be here because I think we can lend our experience to our young people in Liberia, considering my knowledge, and I'm a Liberian and know what it's like in the entire region. So I'm excited to be here.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Howard, for actually joining us and always availing yourself whenever we call upon you to sort of give your perspective on the issues that matter most. And Meaway Egosi Noah, as Mr. Howard was explaining, I think, but then the platform has to give Mr. Howard a motivation, a moderator title because
No.
because yeah. But thank you so much. That was just the fun part of it. Uh, I don't know. The network is a problem in Liberia. Most of our panelists are going off and on, but these are issues that we continue with. We continue to grapple with. Yeah. So specifically, as we asked you the question, we'll call your name and ask you specific questions. So one of the first questions that I would like to ask Daniel is what actually motivated you to your entrepreneurial journey? I mean, what opportunities did you identify in the field that you are providing solutions for? That's the first question to you, Daniel.
So let me see, so you can come again because we never actually buy from my end.
Yeah, so I'll kind of
So yeah.
asking about what motivated you to start your entrepreneurial journey, and what are the opportunities that is within that field that you are providing the solution for, or that you are working in. What is the opportunity?
All right. So as for the field I'm working now,
First, your
currently,
motivation. What is your motivation? Your motivation. What motivated you to be in the field, and then what are the opportunities that are in the field?
what motivated me is how I saw people in the field I joined, how I saw people progressing in the field. That's motivated me a lot to to actually be inspired to join a particular field. Because currently, I'm a practicing journalist, just by now on the radio, but that's a field I saw myself being motivated to be part of because I saw a lot of opportunities. You know, people working in the field of journalism, they are opportune to interact with vibrant citizens, outside the countries and around the world. So that's what motivated me to find myself in the field of journalism and inspired me enough to have going to a journalism school and obtaining a certificate for journalism. And also, like I was saying, the opportunity that I saw in the field of journalism that inspired me to field. There are so many opportunities ranging from scholarships opportunity, ranges from you know networking, interacting with people from different part of the world. That's a great opportunity. You know, if you don't network, you will not know people. So for my field, I saw networking in my field of journalism as one of the main opportunities that really inspire me to have chosen journalism to make it my field of study.
So yeah, so specifically, what is your why innovation have you brought to journalism? Do you have a current platform you are running? Do you have a current? I mean, what is your stake? What do you have? I mean, as a journalist, and what is your entrepreneurial creativity or innovation that you have brought to journalism?
So currently, I'm not very fully into the media because I graduated some part of last month. Yeah, let me say last month. I'm not currently into the media field, but my innovation I've been seeing around like when you look at the child abuse. So I personally decided that when I happen to have the opportunity maybe to sit on any of the radio as a maybe radio journalist or maybe as a media journalist, I can have a program with a name of let's stop maybe child abuse. That's my innovation. I've been thinking on that because I saw that children as a whole have been maltreated. They have been used as a breadwinner. So as a, a policy journalist, I saw that as an issue, as an innovation that I can have a solution to, that I can craft and speak to the public to see how best that it can be solved.
Yeah, so there is something now that they call new media. For example, there is a social media, there's Facebook, there's WhatsApp, there's Instagram, there is LinkedIn, there is YouTube. I mean, in terms of the issues that concern you the most, how have you utilized these platforms? I mean, have you innovated and means of propagating this issue utilizing these platforms?
So basically, I'm currently active on Facebook and let me say WhatsApp, Facebook and WhatsApp. So when you follow most of my posts on Facebook, I've been involved with posting against child abuse and also the unification of Africans. Those are things I can normally post on my social media page. Just but I'm not having a follower to make the information go viral, but I do my best. I do a daily post in a week, maybe in a month. I drop a post. It may not be long, but sometimes it sounds sensitive. Sometimes I post, I can just make a simple caption, let's stop child abuse. That alone will propagate, will be spread to somebody, or maybe will reach out to somebody and they will read it and they will know actually what I mean. Because if you look at our current status in Liberia, we don't really use the reading. I can really show you if you send me too much pages of document, I can't read all. So I can just try to just do it very simple. Like when if I read sometimes to advocate for the peace of Africa, sometimes I normally do something like we are all African, we must uphold the peace of Africa. So anyone coming across such posts, they will know definitely what I'm saying and they will analyze and they will understand it. So I've not been into maybe IG, Instagram, and other social media platforms, but I can make use of my Facebook page. And it was through my Facebook page I get to the opportunity today, like I'm live and having a conversation with you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. It was great having you. But then, we will come back to you. We'll leave you now, but we'll come back to you, and we want you to do something like, I don't know whether your phone could permit you, but to go on your
Yeah,
Facebook page, see the
yeah.
latest post you post about the issue of peace and reconciliation or Africa progress. Let's just know the date the post you pay, and just read the post so that the message go across directly to somebody. So we'll come back to you while you go through that, but you can stay on. So the next person is Mr. Howard. Mr. Howard, specifically, our question, we want to know what motivated you into your entrepreneurial journey. What opportunity have you identified in that field that you're providing solution for? That is our first question.
Well, the first thing is that, honestly speaking, when I was growing up, one of our oldest brother, the late McLean Roberts, he was a radio and television technician. Okay, back in the days, he had a shop in Nukuta, right at the corner of Point Four and what they call Junction there before you get to we pass Datsun Garage in that area before you go into Nukuta itself. And so every weekend I used to go to him and spend time with him and would be in the shop fixing radio, fixing TV. And I pick up the interest from there because it was exciting that I could fix something and people would use it. They bring the radio, it's not working well, blah, blah, blah. It's playing. And that caught my attention. But I still did not think I was going to go into technology because where I lived, my aunt, she's still now working steward, she was executive director of family planning. and she was greatly encouraging us to be involved in the youth program activities, and from my church as well, in the RAs, the youth department, all the kind of stuff like that in my community, the football teams, the different clubs. So I was in that area. And that's how come I went and formed the youth department at family planning. But then one day while sitting down, it came in and brought the first IBM electric typewriter. Those days when you type, it would keep it in the memory and type the one line, right? But then it started having problems. So I started playing with it, you see, and then I would fix it and it began to jump like that. Then they brought the first computer, IBM computer, with the green screen, you know, and it with a floppy disk. Sometimes the floppy disk will get stuck in there. They'll say, "You're called Charles," the technician, and I will come and play with it and take out the floppy disk. So I began to check it out, and then one time when it broke down, so I took it downstairs to my own office and I opened the whole thing and I began to see and I said, "Wow, this is interesting." But even at that, I still was not sure. I thought I was going to remain in youth program development because I had established the family life education program and it was doing well. I had trained counselors that were teaching in schools or in the community, and they had me traveling. So I was like, okay. But then when the war came, it was not easy. So I had to walk from Liberia to Sierra Leone. Of course, it's a whole big story. And I ended up in Ghana. When I ended up in Ghana the second time around, and then one day, I was just sitting there, and then somebody talked to me, one of the neighbors, and said, "What you want to do?" I said, "I want to do computer," because it was becoming something now. And the guy said, "Hey, go in town, get a computer school, bring the paper to me." I went and got it. He paid my school fees. The company is still there. It's called Aquatech. And I went into the computer school, and that's how my journey began. Now, I began to go into that, but then I began to think all along my age that will I always want to work for somebody? Like the first problem I had. Because honestly speaking, I'm not a morning person. In the morning, I like to do my sleep. I was still up all night. So when I want to be getting up 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to work, I hated that idea. Or even to go to school was a problem, but I had to go to school. But then I was thinking about it, right? And then when I started working after I graduated, I started working in Ghana in teaching a computer college. It began to pound on me, Charles. You can do this. You can do this. Now, let me tell you, the thing is that we as young people, everybody as a young person, you have to step back and look at the long journey. Will I want to remain an employee or an employer? Will I want to remain this same way? What do I want to achieve for myself to satisfy myself in whatever career I have first? Then what are the opportunities? So I began to explore those things, and then I confirmed to myself that, hey, even though I'm working for somebody, but one day I want to do this for myself, bring in my own resources, because I'm using my skill and talent and making somebody make money. So if I'm coming to work every day and you're making money from my skill and time, why can't I just use that for myself and bring it to myself? You see? So those are some things that motivated me to go into entrepreneurship. But then when I went back home, I worked for different groups, like I said the other day, from data tech to to the embassy to Lone Star, all these different places. Then when I moved to the United States, I still work for the government. But then after some time, I'm like, you know what, this is serious. It's always on my mind, Charles, work for yourself. In America here, 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock. 15 minutes after 8, you're late 2, 3 times, they fire you. And tell you the truth, it's a lot of work. So one day I got up and I said, this is it. And so I just got up. I said, let me find out what it costs to register a company. Because just on a freelance for job here. And I went through the motion, I didn't have the money. We discussed all of these things, the financial implications, all the different things. But the first thing is you have to be prepared, determined to move as an entrepreneur in whatever career you have. And you have that system. Then you start to identify the do's, the don'ts, and what you need for the different aspects. And sometimes it's not very difficult. The information is right there. You just need to check it out. you know. I just went online and went to an online company called Legal Zoom, and I found my registration, my company name, and it cost me a little bit of money. Of course, by that time I was doing my little hustle. I had a few $100s, and it was like 300 change, I think something like $600. But you could also pay by installment, you see. So I took the installment. So every month I would pay $50, but then they did my registration, everything, and sent it to me. I had data Charlie. You see? So my work now was to promote data, Charlie, to get customers to come and do the work. And of course, I had the background. I have the background, I have the skill set, everything. So I don't have a problem. I just need to market myself. And I begin to market myself from within my community, you see. But
Thank
it's
you.
different in Liberia, in Africa. We'll cover all of that in the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Charlie, for that. Thank you so much for that. Back to our second panelist, Daniel. Can you share with us what specific key challenges you have faced? Uh, I mean, what are key challenges that you are facing or you faced when you were starting as an entrepreneur?
You know, starting something is very difficult. We're especially in Africa, Liberia. So when I started entrepreneurship, it seemed very difficult, no money, and sometimes you may not have someone to motivate you the way you needed to be motivated. So you see that it will be sometimes very challenging, but so be it. We were able to manage like where we are now. We doing something that community is seeing us. Yeah, the challenges, like when I started, before I can get into the field of journalism, before I can start class, it took me a very long time because this was a dream that I had when I was very young. I usually used to admire people on the radio when I listen to their voice, how it sound. Wow, I'll be like, one day I will have a means to sit on the radio, maybe and talk like them. And by then, the vision started when I was in favorite, but the financial capacity, I was actually logging, and I never had money to self-sponsor myself, so I had to wait for a longer time after my graduation, and I saw like I need to have the means to enter in the field of journalism. And by then, it was something very challenging having graduated parents not really strong when it comes to financing. I take the challenge. I enter in the Christian Congo School of Journalism, and I live managing, and I was able to graduate. Just for like another challenge is to have myself done to join the radio journalism is something very difficult now. Uh, I have sent me just a copy of letter to the radio station, and I'm still awaiting a call for interview. So these are challenges I face in my entrepreneur process. So it not seem easy in Liberia, but we are actually fighting it.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. So, uh, can you talk about some specifics? Some specific. Okay, you talk about finances, in your entrepreneurial journey. Um, could you
Yeah,
please
sorry.
a bit emphasis and specific uh, information on challenges. I mean, specifically, you talk about finances, right? Which is a general hurdles to innovation. But then, as an innovator, as an entrepreneur, is that you must you must be able to navigate, to innovate, to bring about new ideas that can sort of serve as a propeller for the idea or for your passion, right? So, did you wanted to start any other thing that you started was moving, but because of the challenges you have with resources, they were not able to be materialized. Because entrepreneurship is about innovation, is about bringing an idea and setting the idea into motion. So we want to know whether you started anything that was moving, but due to finances, you had to drop it and focus on another thing. Did you ever have any sort of experience like that in your journey as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so it have happened to me. it happened to me recently for the instance that I just talked about. I was able to challenge, I was able to overcome that very challenges because when I started, it was difficult, but I have to be steadfast in the process. I manage, I hustle, and I able to set up that other part of life. For a recent time,
Okay.
I enrolled into for a recent time I enrolled in an institution to get a certificate, a very advanced certificate. But then when I entered into the program was charging $20 USD, and it was a kind of huge challenge looking at the country current status and coming from high school, thinking about going to university. It was kind of challenging. So the last money I had for myself was something like $20 USD, which was the fees for the course. It was a 1 month course uh, in education. But then I needed to start school. Looking at my school and looking at the certificate program, I had to be innovative. So what I did was, when I want to start a school, a 4 year school, which is a BSc program, and there's a certificate program in the related field I want to be, let me use the $20 to help myself into the university. Then we can find another means to about the certificate program. So I managed to pay the $20 for my entrance at one of the local universities here in Banga, and forgetting about the certificate program. The certificate program, what I told to myself was, I will let go the certificate program. If they have the $20, they can manage to go for the certificate program. So that was a challenge that I actually faced. I didn't get the certificate up to now. I haven't get it. And a recent time I
Thank.
was into, yeah,
Yeah. Go.
can I
Conclude.
pro?
Conclude.
Yeah,
Conclude.
recently I was also very challenged. I was into a proposal writing program, uh, 1 month, but due to the same financing, financially, if you're not strong when you're having to start something, you not somebody not with you, no motivation, no finance, you see it very difficult. So I was excluded. I was not able to enter the class because I didn't have my fee to enter the class. So these are challenges we are facing in Liberia as a young
Okay.
people, most especially from a
Thank
very
you.
weak background.
Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you so much, Daniel, for that experience, for making us to understand that experience. Charlie, do you
Yeah.
have some key specific challenges that you face while pursuing your entrepreneurial journey, and why? What measure did you use to overcome those challenges? What did you do to sort of overcome those challenges?
Well, everybody don't share the same journey. Uh, One of the challenges I had was myself, because we have a saying that they say when you bring yourself, they say bring it in Ghana. Say bring yourself. You mean show yourself who you are. The way you present yourself, that's the first thing. Because with all of the background that I had from youth program development, I didn't sit down home and say, well, my parents are not millionaire, they don't have the money, everything like that. No. I sat down and figured out, look in the community, what can I do? They got coconut trees, they got palm nut, they got cassava, all these different things. So I made a cassava farm. And my dad taught me those
Uh-huh.
things in your life. We used to make a cassava farm. My parents used to raise pigs. All those things were raised. And every Saturday, my big brother, one of my big brother now, he kills pigs. You go to Duper Road near the graveyard. Every Saturday, he bring it. That one he took down for the family, but we did it. So we plant that cassava. So I have a cassava farm. I will plant my cassava when it grow. I take it, I sell it. I will start keeping my money. I start keeping my money because I wanted to own my first computer. You see. So I had to do that. I had to let go all of the things that entice me, the latest jeans and this and that. I wanted to wear and show off with my friends. I wanted to wear the latest sneaker that cost $45 that time, Morovia, all the kind of stuff. I had my 2 pairs of sneakers, I had my few pair of jeans, my t-shirt. I kept it and I started operating, selling my cassava, my arrows. Sometimes I tell my aunt, what do you want me to do? She said, wash my car. I give you $5. I start using those extraordinary means because I had an objective in mind. Even when refugee time came, when refugee in Sierra Leone and Nigeria and Ghana, I didn't just sit down and say I'm a refugee, so I'm waiting for the UN to come. Okay, I had a talent, I had a skill, I had to use it. I went to church. When I went to church, I got involved in the church activities in those countries, and I teach. I teach Sunday school and stuff like that. And I got involved with the church program, what have you. And then in the process, somebody was like, okay, we have things that will help young people. And they look at me, Charles, you hear and blah, blah. Like, so what I'm saying in short is that you have to use your circumstances to the best advantage of yourself. We cannot always wait for national governments in Africa to bring those opportunities for us because sometimes they will never come. Yes, it is a responsibility to bring those opportunities in terms of giving you access to education, other stuff like that. But we have to sit down. So that was the first challenge. I had to plant cassava, the edo and yam, other thing and sell it. We used to go fishing and all called palm now. My mom would make the oil. She give myself the oil. I said, "Mom, the oil," and they'll keep the other one for the house. My brothers and sisters, we all there. And people say, "What? You're Howard and you're doing that kind of thing here," But I didn't care. The Howard me was not critical. And again, like I said, your presentation of yourself, to represent yourself to
Oh,
the person. You
well,
know.
that's a very good one. That's a very good one. You talk about perseverance. You talk about personal growth. And, being focused on personal growth. You talk about passion, but passion seems to be passion and purpose seems to be one of the most important stuff. But before we come to that, let me give my co-host some chance. Probably he has something to say. He have questions to ask. And, specific stuff. So let me give him a chance.
Yeah, as
Okay.
you can see, my eyes are turning red. It's already 10:23 on my side, so it's getting crazy for me. But anyway, before I ask my question, if you are watching this live podcast, want you to ask the questions in the comment section there. We will post it on our stream and we can answer your question from the stream. So if you are following us, you're watching this video, just ask the question in the comment section on Facebook and we'll see it and highlight it. So
Sure.
our brother Mr. Howard, I've heard you, brother. Then I've also heard you. You guys have had your shared of difficulties. I just want to ask a question. It's a general question to both of you, but Mr. Howard can answer first. What has been your own difficulty in terms of working with people? I'm not saying difficulty encounter while growing your business or while getting innovation straight. I'm saying because most often these dreams that we have, we want to work with people. We mostly want people to come around. We want to include people. If not for them to help, it's for us to help them. If it is not for them to make us grow, it's for us to make them grow. So I want to understand what has been some of the difficulties and challenges you face while working with people or face when trying to work with people.
The first
Yeah.
thing is that you have to be able to understand if they align with your vision and your dream for what you want to do. That's the first thing. Second thing, you got to have a passion for what you guys want to do because it's not just going to come on silver platter. Third thing, honesty and integrity. You got to make sure they are honest and they have a good character, integrity. Okay. And lastly, the commitment to serve with you.
Yeah,
Those are
sorry,
things.
sorry, sorry. Let me just highlight something. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Concerning honesty and integrity, have you had any form of challenge or difficulty in working with people that have trust and dishonest behavior that you've experienced as a person?
Yeah,
Can you just
yeah,
share
a lot
not
of them.
limited though?
Yeah, a lot of them. For example, um, I sit here and many of the guys I try to work with in Liberia and other countries, but especially Liberia, I've never met them before. I just meet them through maybe social media and I say, like, this person seems to be into this, let me bring them on, let's work together. they will come first. But first thing first, can you go to town and check on this, or can you go down and check on this? I need transportation. And some of them feel that because I'm in America, I don't know what happens on the street in Monrovia, but they make a big mistake. Because when I call someone and tell them what happened at Dubro Junction or Relay, or they be shocked, But they will always try to make things dishonest, tell you things that is not true. And you understand? Or go and get this. I asked someone to go and ask them to register a business, right? I had already called the business registry and knew how much it cost. So I said, Joe Blow, go there and tell me how much it cost to register the business. $600 he came back to me with, when it's $35. Just this morning, before I came on the show, okay, I sent somebody, the person came and said, well, brother, they think that $30 US or $35 US. I said, what? But John Brown told me yesterday it was almost $600 because he got to tape it into the encore, everything else. So that's some of the distrust. And then they will sit down and form fake things. Oh, I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm this. I need to go to the hospital. Nothing wrong with them. That's being dishonest. You get them a task to perform. They will not perform the task. But the next thing is, I need money to do this. I don't have computer. I don't have this. I've sent laptops. They take the laptop and sold the laptop. But what they did not understand is that on our laptop, I have a program. I think I told Perkins about it. I put it on it. I can track my device anywhere in the world it is. And they saw the laptop. They come and tell me they were working. They just went to the bathroom. They came by. The laptop was gone. So dishonesty is a problem. And especially, I tell you the truth, I'm not saying everybody else not like that, but especially for our Liberian young people, it's a problem with honesty, commitment to work and go through the task. The moment you call them in, the next thing they won't start making $2,000. They do not know how to invest, how to plant the seed. The other day I spoke about it. You work together and plant the seed. And when it grow and start to produce, you will start to enjoy. But there's always a dry season. That's what happened. That's a simple example.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So can you apply the same question to Daniel, or has Daniel responded?
Yeah. So Daniel, I've listened to you. I've understood that most of your problem has actually been been financial problems, but obviously you might have had the urge to work with other people. You might have that desire, anxiety to work with other people. So, what has been some of your difficulties in working with other people, especially trying to carry your dream and trying to come already to work with you to carry your dream? How has been your difficulties? What has been the challenges faced?
Daniel, are you getting Meaway?
He frozen. I think his network giving up.
Yeah, Daniel seems to have frozen.
Okay, let's leave it. Let's move forward and first.
He will come. So he will come back. So just to continue with that,
Daniel
he's back. Daniel, you back.
Now, can you ask the question?
Daniel, did you understand the question?
I was not really in by then.
Okay. What has been some of the personal challenges faced working with other people, especially pushing your dreams?
Working with people can be a kind of serious problem, more especially in the kind of place I stay. Sometimes they will not confide in you. Mostly when it comes to money matter, they will not confide in you. Yeah. You would not believe that somebody will have to go to a place where they know they sell a particular thing there for $20. Then they kind of test you. Daniel, I want you to go to the area there, and I really know how much they can sell the pen or the computer, but I think it should be $35. Then they take it to you, looking at the current situation of our country. Then you go. If you manage to get that particular thing for maybe $20, now you'll be. If I give the change to the person that sent me the opinion, I'm not upgrade. And again, If you choose to eat a fish, your repetition will spoil. You definitely you lose the integrity to that person. So
So the
it's kind of
issue,
very serious.
so the issue of
It's kind of
integrity,
very
even our viewers are really commenting on the issue of integrity. One viewer, Jacob Double Bali Hina, said that Liberian youth cannot be trusted. They don't want to sacrifice. And I think Charles make very similar assertion that as young people in Liberia, the issue of trust is lacking, and also to sacrifice is also lacking. And these are very, 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 very good challenges that people in and abroad, has faced with us. I just gave you a scenario just yesterday. I fortunately, a friend of mine, Marcin Paku, let me give it up to him. I have a problem at my house, and he decided to help me to solve those problems. I try to do some renovation and stuff. So he yesterday I left some guys working, and I left the money with the Oman. And then because they started working since day before yesterday. So according to them, the blacks finished. So they needed at least 10 to 15 additional blocks. And the blocks are sold for like $75 for a single block. So I said, okay, I will leave 10 blocks money with the Oman, and then people can get a block. When they give them the money to go and get a block, the guys, instead of them going to where the people are facing the block, the men went all around collecting single blocks around.
No, but that's innovation, though.
the guy, the guys, the guys went around collecting blacks one, and they came.
But somebody going to breaks, right?
No, no, they're very old blacks. The blacks they got were very old, and the old man, my mom had to make very serious palaver with them, and unfortunately they are already eating the money, and they got 10
Oh,
old
oh,
blacks
trouble.
for us to use yesterday. So indeed, the issue of sincerity and the issue of sincerity and integrity is really crippling, our progress as young people as well. So it's unfortunate, and that's a very serious concern in all sector, and that's why the fight against corruption, in as much as it should be on a governmental level, there should be some frantic efforts by government and civil society organization to begin to sow seeds of integrity in high school and at elementary levels, and even in the homes, so that young people that are coming up can consider integrity in all of their doings. Because if that is not done, we will always have will always arrive at this same point wherein the issue of trust is a major challenge in our dealings. So yeah, so that's very
Yeah,
fair
And you
enough.
see, and you
yeah.
see, there's another side to this whole problem of youth entrepreneurship. You know, yes, we blame the youth for dishonest and what have you, and but there's another side to it. And I hope that we can cover, and look at, because I think that we have a problem. There are some other very difficult challenges we facing. Even for those who are honest and try to be sincere, what have you, they have different challenges, you know, and we can look at down the line.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
um, again, sorry, I'm not cutting you off. I just want to highlight something that Daniel said. I just want to make it straight. As you can see, my name is a realist, so I like to take things as directly as it is. So, as a young man, we know that Liberia we have serious financial problem. The youth pockets are dry. Some of them that are fighting, not getting a job. Let's talk about those who are not fighting. So no matter your status, no matter the stage you are, no matter where you've grown to become, whenever someone entrusts you with something or even trying to test you, you have a free will to come out 100% clear or positive. So whenever someone tells you they know the price of pepper carrot at 2 for 5, but they say, "Man, I give 15, I go buy 2 carrot for me. Go and buy the 2 carrot, bring that change." This is where I gained my integrity with my boss, got money, be Zogan. He knew many things prices, but he gave me excess money to go and buy them. I bought the same. I brought the money back the day that I have to use the excess money. I come and tell him I bought it this price. This is a receipt, but I used the change. In that way, it is true that you use it, but at least you're honest to tell you that this was what happened and I had to use this amount. You understand? But you can go and use that money and allow them that you the money give you use everything, then they will start to have problem with you. Then they will not confine you because trust is will try to slide in. So I don't want to make that clear, my brother. Don't let the property that will have you make a targeted goal on the other way.
And many young people too, their expectation is also in affecting them. The moment they get a certificate or something kind, they want it to happen here and now. Hey, this is life. There is a time and process for everything. You have to go through that stage to accomplish. Again, if you don't find the seed, you don't plant the seed on the right soil, you will not yield the right fruit. So, meaning that you have to go through that process. It will be rough, it will be wild, but you have to be able to go through that process. You see, but they don't want that. They want to get up in the morning and it should just be there. And that's the
Well, let
problem.
me give it up. Yeah, thank you, Charlie. Thank you so much. Let me give it up to Jacob Hinen. He has been following our conversation all through, and then he's also providing his own input by commenting on what we're discussing. That means that he's religiously following our conversation. We want to give it up to him. Um, Charlie, I believe that you are involved because for Daniel does not have any business venture. He does not have any startups. Uh, so the question is not cannot be applied to him. But how do you measure the impact of your business? I mean, or your ventures, your entrepreneur venture that you're into. How do you measure its impact on the community that it is serving? And the broader economy? How do you um, measure the impact?
Well, there are several yardsticks by which you use to measure different impacts on things. But the first thing is that I like young people see what I do when I get them involved with me and see where I've come from, what I've been through. I don't complain where I come from. I'm positive. I'm going forward. So once they're associating with me and my business, they see that I always speak positively about the future, encouraging them because I know times are difficult, especially in Liberia. You understand? So we do that, let them see that it's happening. Some other young people that have benefited from some of the things we did, let me just pause here with this one. But for example, when I had my first company in Liberia called I Protect, I called them my brothers, got some guys together and they came, they said they wanted to learn computer and I allowed them to come in and we started to grow. They have access to the materials. I give you access to the material. Like right now, I got a whole training lab. Said now anybody want to learn something, I give you username and password. You go in there and pick the course you want to learn. If it's not there, I buy it and put it in there and you learn it for free. So they took advantage of it. Okay, but guess what? One of them, he works for Microsoft. So he was in Liberia with me when he got a scholarship to the University of Alabama. When he was graduating, Microsoft employed him directly. He said, well, as far as I know, he's the only Liberian apart from me who do contract service to Microsoft. Because I served as a subject matter expert for Microsoft, for meaning that they already bring this certification exam for Windows and things. They call us to review the exam questions, testing everything, and if we see it good, then they put it out for people to take. But he's not here full time. The other guy, he works for UN all over Africa. Okay, he's doing that right from there. They got to join the work because they were disciplined. Everything else, they followed the suggestions and recommended. I didn't scream at them. I didn't bring them down, but the impact is showing from there. Okay, the other guy works he works there in the States right now. Okay, he works for Dell Computers. I used to work for myself, so I know the impact. Other young people doing that. So when they come to me, I try to give them opportunity, like show them where they can find scholarship, where they can find grant, where they can find this. I will not give it to you, but I give you the information and resources because I know Liberia is not bringing it that way. Let them. They have to be prepared to stay up and do that research. Oh, Charles, give me this website. Let me go in there and search for things in the plan. I'm not saying they will say yes, but hey, give it a shot. You understand? Secondly, the result of our work. If in the community, guys having all the computers in the community in the school, some other schools in Liberia, I give free services to. I say, okay, I'll fix the system for you guys because it's going to benefit the kids in the school or the young people there. I gave her all these different services platforms to operate on. So when I see the results coming back, people benefited from it. It make their service to go through correctly. Like right now, if you go and check on the internet how much you charge people to build a website, 3, 4, 5 page, nobody will charge you less than $1,000 or $1,500 upwards. Nobody. Some of the people are building websites for them for almost free. I say just pay for the things online, because I wanted to have an opportunity to expose themselves so that they can see what they're doing and it will grow from there. God bless me in a different way. I tell you the truth. I don't go to bed hungry. So that's not anything. So if I lose a few $100s here and make sure an entity develop for the young people in the different communities, that's fine. So that's how I measure my impact in the community and what I do. But then again, Liberian people, then they will come back and start making fuss because
Wow, wow,
they
wow.
won't plug it out of you, you know.
That's
So yeah,
actually, yeah. Thank you so much. That actually is a eye opener, and I mean you've been doing a whole lot in Liberia. You've been giving a whole lot back to our country, to our society, and that is a good thing that you continue to do. Now, for where I sit, well, I believe that our young brother Daniel has grappled with lack of access. I mean, to
yeah.
capital or resources or stuff. I mean, an inspiring young man like him, what kind of advice would you give people like him in his own shoes? Because you are the experienced guy and now you have had a lot of business venture and stuff like that. I believe that there are several young people that are now watching us that want to know what kind of specific advice would you give them in terms of how they deal with the lack of finance, resources, or capital to start, to start innovative startups.
First thing,
Please make that, excuse me, please make that advice generous. Small one left for eight.
Yeah, sure. That's what I said. That's what I
but the
said.
first
Yes.
thing is that you must make yourself available. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Make yourself available. Second thing, temp down your expectation. It's not going to happen tomorrow morning. Temp it down. Don't expect when you walk into the office, they will just seize it because I'm a reporter, or I'm a computer guy, or I'm a this. They will just say yes. No, temp it down. Okay. Third thing is that expose yourself. In person, online, we have the digital world now, and in your community, because you don't know who is who you're dealing with. Try to put yourself in different groups. If it is church, if it is the community youth group, or different scenarios, mingle in these groups because there are people there who don't show off, but they have access. And we will have to stop thinking that everything must give us money. Look for the access. Don't look for people to be giving you money. Look for the access. Because, for example, if you came on the show today and are getting to know you, you can never tell. I could say, oh, listen, practice, let me talk to that brother after here. So you don't even know. So associate yourself with a group, but a positive group of people. Now, let me set the example. You in the media, you'll be a journalist. So in your community, where is the nearest radio station or TV station? Hey, guys, I just got my certificate and thing. I'm really trying to pursue it. So can I volunteer a couple of hours here every day? Can I come every day? Do some of those things. Try to form getting groups online, what have you, and start to mingle with people. Something will break for you because you are searching. You see? But meanwhile, be focused, be dedicated, be honest about those things. And in your own self, sit down and think, okay, if I don't have anybody anywhere around, no money, no nothing, nobody, no group for me to get into, how can I use this, my skill on my own to make me succeed? You understand? In Banga, right?
Yeah.
Okay, in Banga. Okay, say, in Banga town itself, or in one of the other towns?
I live Banga City.
Okay, Banga City.
Uh,
Okay, I was there in in January. Okay, so look around. What is missing in Banga City that people are looking for and they can get easily? You in the media, what they're looking for. For example, well, I'm just giving an example. You know what? Let me start a small
yeah.
community awareness group in terms of news. I can get the news happening in our political news, no the kind of news, who's selling cassava, who's selling edo, the farmers, the guy that market and thing. Can I go there and say, listen, Omar, if I put you in this on my platform, so you're selling cassava edo and the different thing and expose your business, what will you do? What you will like it? Oh yeah, my son, because I can say, oh, they can buy from you. Okay, so you got to be innovative. See, look for the missing link. But people need that missing link and tap into it and take advantage of it. You understand? So, for
Yeah.
example, transportation from Banga to Monrovia. So, guys, pushing the price all day. And you understand? It's okay. I'll be giving you information on the correct price from Monrovia, from Banga to Monrovia. Some of them allow you for the price when you're getting tested. Just an example I'm talking about. So look for the unseen things we call it and tap into it. But if you sit down and become sad and sink in, trust me, people say, oh, they don't understand the thing the Bible says, ask and it shall be given. Have faith. And the Bible says, faith without work is dead. What it means is that if you sit and say, Lord, I got faith, I will get a job. Sit down there. 10 years from now, you'll be sitting there right there, that job ain't coming. The faith in work means you get up, look for the job vacancy, get your CV ready, and apply for the job and say, Lord, I've done my part. You take it the rest of the way. That's the action. You trying to get my logic, right? So look for
Yeah.
the unseen things that people already need to do in the media. What kind of information they want all the time they're not getting when the political news come in the newspaper? Call the newspaper, say, German, listen, I can get the news every time from Banga on these things, though. If it is the sports paper or even the political paper or the business marketing paper, I can give you some information you publish in your paper. Maybe the first story you gave them, it'd be okay. People started buying the paper because of that. They say, my man, you're correspondent and you're literally coming every month inside the paper. You see what I'm talking about? So look for those things that are already in there. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. You want to ask a question?
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
Perkins, I'm not asking a question. I'm just
Oh,
adding to the what you just told him. In Banga, how many bloggers do we have of Banga?
thank you.
How many bloggers? What are some of the innovative things that
Banga.
can draw people to that name? If you call yourself the market ball blogger, go to the market every day, get new prices, get the exact prices, go to the bushes, get the book, happy farms, products, video clip it, go live, go on the prices, tell people if you want to put out this person, people start following you.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of what he was saying is one of the best things. You got to be innovative. So
Yeah.
yeah, Frankie, we are out of time. I know you want to cut me off. Let me cut myself off.
no, sorry. I'm facing just the same problem. Don't go
Okay.
off yet.
And while he
There's
working on the last thing is that, my brother, I noticed something and I pray that you look at that. You have to be eloquent in the media.
please send me the link, Meaway.
You got to be eloquent. Okay. You got to be eloquent. You can't just be talking elaborate English like that. You got to be eloquent because you're in the media. You understand? You got to be eloquent
Yeah.
and be presentable and take yourself, put yourself in a different. So when people see you, they know you're a little bit different. Got to be eloquent. I'm not saying anything wrong with you, but get the diction right. And you understand? Because that people can say, well, that means you're talking that kind of patois and that kind of thing, and I also know. And so gear up for that, but look for the missing link and be very eloquent in your presentation. When you're speaking, speak eloquently so that they know you know what you're talking about and you have command over the language you're speaking. You understand? When you speak the waterside English, when you come to a platform like this and you're talking to people, be eloquent. Be eloquent. That's what media is all about. You got to be eloquent, you got to be presentable, and you got to be sure yourself that you're smart and you are informed. But if you're not eloquent, you're not presentable, you don't show that you informed, you will talk who they know what they're picking. Or that way he asks you how many bloggers the guy in Banga. We don't even know. There's a village in Banga on the Banga Lofa Highway called Global Village. Have you heard about it? They call the place Global Village.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Global Village is a village where the returnees from the refugees live and they do a lot of work there. Agriculture, other stuff like that. The international organization is helping them to develop themselves, reintegrate into society. You don't hear him over on the news at all. See, I sit in America here and I tell you what happened in there. Global Village. When I came to Liberia, I went to Clay, I went to Bombay, and I went to Banga. I went to Global Village. You know what I was doing with them? I was presenting to them the idea about agro technology. I wanted them to understand that even though they're in the farm working, they can use the agriculture and technology to promote and sell their business to the rest of the world. You understand? So be
yeah,
innovative. See what is missing. That's what he asked in Banga that you think the public want to hear and know. And try in that area. Some newspaper will pick you up. You see. And also be prepared to partner. Look, okay, tell guys and gentlemen, you not come together. If they are good, they are disciplined, they are honest. Gentlemen, that power set together and form something. Perkins started this thing. You see, he got Nuah on it. He got the other guy on it. He didn't just say by himself, say, I can do it or I know it or no. But he brought people together and he's running the program. He's starting and he's picking up. That's why I like him because when time I got to know him, he has never ever sat down and said, Charlie, no. He was always well, or bringing ideas. Can we do this? I was thinking about this. I was doing this. Let's find this one up. He's always doing that. And he's honest to me. When I ask a question, he'll tell me the honest thing. So I never know with John Perkins telling Charlie, I want to do that, do that, what you think about it. I'm all ears into it. See? So that's how you build your platform. That's how you build your confidence. That's how you build a relationship. Okay? That's how you do it.
yeah,
The president today, Joseph Boca, he coming from, you know how he went to college? He used to work from where to
yeah,
work. They go around, they go to college, you see, whatever somebody can give you, he had the kind of money. But today, who he is, he's the president of Liberia. And there is nothing means that you cannot do that because you're in Ghana. Okay? You cannot be.
What? Welcome back, Perkins.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. I actually appreciate it. I want to bring up all our innovation, but it's like my stuff is giving me a problem. And so that's why you see me I just off and on. But thank you guys for the continuation
Are we running out
of
of
this
time now?
podcast. I know you want to go. I myself, I have to start going, but let's see. So you
Okay.
can go, you can wrap up. I will wrap up with the
Yeah.
guys here.
So let me just give you a list of things quick, like you can pass it there quickly because I have researched this thing here on these things. One thing young people need to understand for those who are listening is to make sure that they can find technical integration into organization, into different places. They have to also focus on sustainability, identify how they can sustain the business they do or the service they run away. If they got to sit out all day and write the paper, blah, 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 like that. Okay. Of course, the government need to make access to funding available for young people. Let's be honest with it. Government will give access to fundings for people like in Rwanda. When Paul Kagame came, he set up a whole technology center and told everybody to come and do what they got to do. And that's how they started going on. In Liberia, we had a free zone. Okay, that was the intention of the free zone. Tower brought it for Liberians who are innovative to go there, get a little space to sit down there and develop themselves and create an institution. I don't know what happened to it right now, but we need to have access to funding and enough resources to make Daniel find the information you want. Then, of course, we need to get a chance to have a global collaboration network. Of course, you got access to the internet. You can use it to go globally, right? Then, of course, education and skills. He have the education and skills, so we need to make sure we have that also, right? Of course, then you need to make sure you have diversity and inclusion. Not because I'm from Bon County or from Lufa County, you can't be with me, or I'm from the other country. No, be open. You don't know who is who. Don't just exclude yourself, say, I'm a Liberian, I will go only Liberian. Okay? No. The number of friends I got around the world, you not even believe it, from different culture, and they are my friends. And you see, you have to also adapt to what we call economic uncertainty, because anytime the economy can change, sometimes that business trying to do it will fail, but you have to be able to adapt to it. Got to have that guts to do that. Okay, and try to look at research the policies and regulation in those things you're doing. What is the government policy? What's the government law on those? So you can't go do it. The government say you break the law or you can't do this thing and what have you. Okay, of course, your mental health. You gotta stay focused. you gotta have your mental health under control. Don't be disappointed. Don't be stressed. Don't give up. Don't let it worry you like that. Your mental health, ask my man Nuah. Mental health in this part of the world is not small thing. You got to go for it all the time. And you understand? And some of the things that are affecting our young people is that they don't have access to funding and economic resources. That is about the government have to bring those opportunities together. And of course, we don't have all the educational systems that require to give the people the opportunity to advance yourself in the way you need to, not just you, but everybody else. We need to have those things coming on. I think this government is trying to do something like that. And then, of course, most times we lack support, lack membership, just moral support, not financial support. Sometimes you do something, your family don't even want to support you. You don't want to say, oh, Perkins, you do well, or we got your back. I mean, that you doing that, we're not doing that, so you're just wasting your time. How did it discourage you? And, we need to have, young people need to have moral support, family support, network and membership in organizations and groups that will support you in what you're doing. Those are just a few of the things I wanted to run across you guys really quick, so that those who are listening, you can learn and pick it up from there.
Please share some capital Perkins. Please share some capital Perkins.
Okay, I'm going to send everything
Thank
to
you
him
so
right
much,
now.
Charlie, for those very key points and enriching this discussion based on those research that we've done. We want to say thank you for that presentation. So, in closing, let's get a closing statement, beginning with Daniel Joseph Ekula.
We say thank you for the time, and let me say thank you to Mr. Chahaba. He actually did well. He opened my mind to so a lot of new things, and I would like to improve on it the next time. And I can say this is my very first time to take part in such activities. I was saying new to it, but in times to come, I will master it. So I would like to say let it continue, and are always available to be part of such learning activities. Thank you to the Liberia coordinator and everybody for making this day a very successful one.
So I'll do you a favor. I'll do you a favor, okay? You in Banga, all right? Get to Perkins and give you my contact, and we talk. I will set up your online presence so you can start coming out of Banga and try to show yourself. But you got to look at yourself. Be disciplined. Okay, I'm not asking you for a dime. I want to see what you will do. So talk to me, and we'll start talking about your online presence because you're into that. All right. You don't need to work with ELBC or AWA. You can start from there. Okay. So we'll talk after the show.
Thank you, Daniel. So we thank you so much for joining us. If you like, you can leave. If you want to listen to the other people closing, you can also stay. Charlie.
Yo.
We have to close. We are closing now.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I've talked a lot already. Yeah, I just want young people who are listening and watching to please step back and redefine themselves. Don't give up, guys. It is your future. Stop waiting for government to bring everything for you. Look at your skill. Use your own skill. Get 2 or 3 guys together. You'll do the same thing you're doing. Get 2 or 3 girls together in your group or on your own. Identify the way you can. Reach out to people. You're working on moral support. Don't always ask for money for everything. No, money does not bring everything. Okay? But ask for the moral support, resource support. Hey man, how can I, for example, I don't know how many Liberian young people go to the U.S. Embassy, to the USIS library. I don't know how many. But the USIS library have a lot of resources for scholarships. All the information are there. All you got to do is to go there and say, hey, can I come to the library? They will give you a pass. You go to the library and use the computer. Look at all the information materials are there. You can find a scholarship. You can talk to them. So use those things to help to accomplish your goal. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Charlie, for that closing. Meaway, can you close?
Okay, so I want to say thanks to our big brother and friend, Mr. Charles Howard. We say you've always been a great you've already had great impact on this platform. You give us new information all the time. And
Mama,
to Daniel, I say that
we are giving you Charlie co-moderator title
Oh,
as for now.
I'm okay, bro.
okay, no problem. I support that. And then to Daniel, I want to say thank you for joining. I hope that the advances and motivation you receive from here tonight, you can build on it and get something new within yourself, have new innovations and stuff. Look, but one funny nipple of call you back when you start
Yeah.
to be that stuff. Because the
Yeah.
market ball,
Yeah.
the market blocker, the old man begin.
Yeah,
Something innovative, people follow. And then to the people who following us, every time you follow us, we'll ask you to please just comment in the comment section of Facebook. Whatever
Sure.
video you will see, just comment on it. We'll highlight it on our screen, and then we can answer a question if there is a question. Or if it is
Sure.
just a motivation, we can read it out here. And lastly, most of us call ourselves Christians, but want to fold our hands and receive the blessing as if it is our mother giving us breast milk. It doesn't work like that.
No.
You have to take a step that only God can make you reach to the place you're supposed to step. Then God will step in. But you can't be taking water in cup and drinking it. If you God will help you to drink it, that's a normal thing. You can do it for yourself. All right. So you got to do something bigger that require God to be involved. So don't sit there, don't sit idle to wait for God's miracle. Start to work and then God will intervene. Thank you so much. It's already 11 here. I have to take my leave. Thank you.
Well, it has been a pleasure having you, Meaway Augustine Nuah. It has always been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. We are always privileged to have you, and we believe that we will have you on our next podcast next week Monday. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your support. Till we meet again on Mondays, Charlie, we want to say thank you too for joining us. It has been a pleasure. It has been a great time having conversation with you. Till we meet Monday, it's still going to get better than this. Thank you to our viewers. Like Meaway has said, we can't say it better than what he has already said, that you should always follow our podcast. You should always share. You should always comment. You should always give us some reactions. This has been a Nexus Conversation live at 4 p.m. We are at the verge of closing, and we want to thank everyone who has left their busy schedule to be with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.
For many years, Paul Skyberry, the founder of Faith Foundation Liberia, has dedicated his life and resources to building leaders in Africa. His foundations provide scholarships for students across Liberia and other parts of Africa. At a young age, Paul started out as a little child laborer, breaking stones and selling it to make a living. He later realized that stonebreaking was not a successful business strategy, but rather modern child slavery in the 21st century. While running away from the civil war in his home Liberia, he experienced tremendous suffering across Africa. Today, he is an award-winning author, a mentor, a motivational leadership life coach. He believes that a person can become a better leader by understanding the core values spelled out through his leadership teaching. Qualities such as influence, assertiveness, adaptability, conscientiousness are cited as the most important qualities in books written by Paul. Ambassador Paul Skyberry has taken lead in supporting to solve some of the leadership problems in his community, his home country Liberia and other parts of Africa. So he is now going around Africa providing his own funds and carry on management leadership workshop empowering the new generation. The purpose of his leadership style is to influence and encourage people from the grassroots, local communities, religious groups, the NGOs and local governments to get actively involved in the new generation of leaders to take over and lead Africa in the right direction. He believes that Africa will only rise because of the qualities of our leaders. That is why his new empowerment strategy is to refresh the people of the nations to overcome leadership challenges and transform Africa. To invite a new breed of leaders that will lead by positive example and become the frontrunner in the new generations of leaders in Africa. Faith Foundation's leader shared the visions with his spiritual mother and partners in the United States, Bishop Dr. Rosetta Cox, founder of the Cox Evangelistic Ministry in Virginia Beach. Dr. Cox connected associate partners from other states all around the US, such as Bridges of the Gap in Virginia Beach, Christ Lamps Ministries in North Carolina, Dr. Gary and Tyler of Virginia, Medley Family Care Group, also known as Mama Shoes, in Pennsylvania.
Hour of collaboration after learning this. It's time to elevate Liberia's digital defenses. Data Charlie MSP, in collaboration with Rotel Innovation House, proudly invites you to the first ever Liberian Cybersecurity Conference. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 30th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us via Zoom or on-site at the Rotel Innovation House on 14th Street, Coleman Avenue in Cinco, Monrovia. This is the event you can't afford to miss. We're calling all cybersecurity professionals, government officials, business leaders, and the private sector. Let's come together to discuss and develop a resolution for the government of Liberia to create a robust cybersecurity policy. Your insights and expertise are vital. Be part of the conversation that will define Liberia's digital landscape. Visit datacharlie.com on the day of the conference to join us. Together, we can build a safer, more secure future for Liberia. Don't just be a spectator, be a catalyst for change. We look forward to seeing you there.
For many years, Paul Skyberry, the founder of Faith Foundation Liberia, has dedicated his life and resources to building leaders in Africa. His foundations provide scholarships for students across Liberia and other parts of Africa. At a young age, Paul started out as a little child laborer, breaking stones and selling it to make a living. He later realized that stonebreaking was not a successful business strategy, but rather modern child slavery in the 21st century. While running away from the civil war in his home Liberia, he experienced tremendous suffering across Africa. Today, he is an award-winning author, a mentor, a motivational leadership life coach. He believes that a person can become a better leader by understanding the core values spelled out through his leadership teaching. Qualities such as influence, assertiveness, adaptability, conscientiousness are cited as the most important qualities in books written by Paul. Ambassador Paul Skyberry has taken lead in supporting to solve some of the leadership problems in his community, his home country Liberia and other parts of Africa. So he is now going around Africa providing his own funds and carry on management leadership workshop empowering the new generation. The purpose of his leadership style is to influence and encourage people from the grassroots, local communities, religious groups, the NGOs and local governments to get actively involved in the new generation of leaders to take over and lead Africa in the right direction. He believes that Africa will only rise because of the qualities of our leaders. That is why his new empowerment strategy is to refresh the people of the nations to overcome leadership challenges and transform Africa. To invite a new breed of leaders that will lead by positive example and become the frontrunner in the new generations of leaders in Africa. Faith Foundation's leader shared the visions with his spiritual mother and partners in the United States, Bishop Dr. Rosetta Cox, founder of the Cox Evangelistic Ministry in Virginia Beach. Dr. Cox connected associate partners from other states all around the US, such as Bridges of the Gap in Virginia Beach, Christ Lamps Ministries in North Carolina, Dr. Gary and Tyler of Virginia, Medley Family Care Group, also known as Mama Shoes, in Pennsylvania.
I will never doubt the power of collaboration after learning this. It's time to elevate Liberia's digital defenses. Data Charlie MSP, in collaboration with Rotel Innovation House, proudly invites you to the first ever Liberian Cybersecurity Conference. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 30th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us via Zoom or on-site at the Rotel Innovation House on 14th Street, Coleman Avenue in Cinco, Monrovia. This is the event you can't afford to miss. We're calling all cybersecurity professionals, government officials, business leaders, and the private sector. Let's come together to discuss and develop a resolution for the government of Liberia to create a robust cybersecurity policy. Your insights and expertise are vital. Be part of the conversation that will define Liberia's digital landscape. Visit datacharlie.com on the day of the conference to join us. Together, we can build a safer, more secure future for Liberia. Don't just be a spectator, be a catalyst for change. We look forward to seeing you there.